it's time for Dust 2 after a close back and forth nuke that honestly I didn't have any idea what was going on half the time. We're going to Dust 2 where it could very well be more of the same, but you of course assume that both these teams have played Dust 2 a whole bunch. I mean,
Yep.
NA and Dust 2 kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, I think they're both actually pretty decent on Dust 2, and it's just like their worst case scenario is just that nuke is so taxing, or will punish you very greatly if you don't have if you aren't prepared for T side. Whereas Dust 2, and if you want to do these defaults every round, tons of room to get these individual picks all the time. Like there's just only so much that resources will do for you, and a lot of it will come down to aim duels. And the myth is not, or that's not a myth, excuse me. Yeah.
So again, I think it's going to come down to Surreal here for me. He's definitely the player to watch as far as I'm concerned. I'll be quite curious to see if he can continue, because at one point he was going neck and neck with Def, who ended up being the top fragger, obviously, for their side. Complexity, do you think they have a realistic chance here on those two? Nice.
That spray paint is amazing. What is that? I love that. What? That's so cool. Is that two? Look at the money and the... That made me happy for some reason. I'm a simple man.
Brightened up your day. The Complexity are going to be starting on the T side, and quite a lot of utility actually. Both Surreal and Ape running with smoke and double flashes. One of those smokes going towards the Xbox again. You did call this in the last map as well. Envious and Astralis, that they had a very keen interest in smoking Xbox at the start.
Yeah, not necessarily using it. It's just such a good thing to guys cover. And here, Ape, what? It looks like you might have actually got gushed through the smoke, which would have been so unfortunate if that actually happened. But here's another situation where the CTs haven't bought a kit, which is super interesting. This is not just TSM to do this. It was, I think, Astralis to do it. Actually, obviously lost that round. And this is quite a similar way of this playing out as well. It's going to be a lot of beat pressure. Sick is going to have to hit these shots, and he really is about to. Maybe go for a three-piece right now.
Def is still alive, though. One of the stars of the first map, and what a headshot that is onto Sick. And he lands the next one onto Semphis.
What a pre-fire.
Single-handedly bringing this back. But Relix is in hot pursuit from behind of tunnels. FNS is just trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Get a two-pronged retake in effect. The bomb still hasn't been planted. Ape with the 4 HP is the man to do it right here, right now. This could draw Relix out into the open, but he's going to bide his time for a few more seconds as that very nearly does get put down from behind. Relix has now been spotted. Eats a bit of damage. They're both going to be pushing through together. This is where it could get really sticky for Daps, who's on for the ace as well, alongside the clutch. Is he going to be able to land these headshots? Oh, he's going to be knifed down. Surely here comes the bayonet charge, and FNS will take him. An anticlimactic end for Depp, who was very close there to landing a couple more headshots, but it will be Complexity taking the first round.
That is great. It just comes down to a knife. After all of that, it comes down to a knife. Fantastic. Great recovery from Dev, and a couple of good, a solid hold from Sick. He's the first person to get 3 kills on the site. That's more than you can ask for from your solo B player. And then I think the only thing that ends up working out no matter what for Complexity is to get the bomb plant. So they can kind of dictate or influence the buy of TSM. TSM are not going to want to are not going to want to assume that they're saving, but at the same time can expect to have to go up against a full buy next round. So investing quite a bit here. Relix buying a scout and getting half his HP taken away from him. Now 5 players up on Cat. Only Glocks along with his deagle. I think they want to recycle that if possible. Good flashes, however. And the cross is going to come out.
Nade a little bit too deep. It's not going to hit anybody from the terrace, but it's not even required. Semphis with FAMAS and FNS with the M4A4 more than good enough to deal with it. 5-0. FNS has been in amongst the frags. The only player to get any kills so far is F with his 3 kills on the pistol. That was a fruitless endeavor in round 2, but they are going to have AKs as they tapped out of round 2 after the bomb plant. So they're going to have a pretty healthy amount of grenades in terms of smokes, which is really all you need at this point.
I guess the one nice thing then is that TSM haven't rebought anything, so they've just, it works out in their favor and maybe against them if they don't convert this round, but only have a UMP right now. Good flash. Relix completely blind. They're also clearing mid here. FNS fortunate to get his kill on Def, and as these players make their way out mid, it seems like Sick is going to be left alone in the B site.
Has got the first kill, is able to switch around, he's going to get 2 as well. They very nearly line up for him. He does significant damage to both Android and 8 before dropping down, so a great individual effort by Sick. Has he given Twist and Semphis a chance at getting this clutch for their team?
Oh, Android, absolute tank, is down to half HP, and versus this peak might have a little bit of opposition to deal with, is going to re-emerge. The smoke comes out, and that actually, I mean, just allows him to line up in the exact way that he knows how to hit that shot and get 2 headshots. Well, so TSM after that, because they didn't spend any money and actually did a fantastic job on the second round, still have enough to buy, which is something we don't always see after a conversion on the third. So fortunate to be in this position, but also wholly responsible themselves. They did a good job. So the only thing not going for them is the fact that they don't have head armor, and that might be a tell for complexity. Surreal has a UMP here on T side, but I don't think this means that this round will come to a close because of it. They still got an op, a couple of smokes left over, and obviously just very talented players.
Relics does have the AWP, but as we mentioned previously, it was really Surreal that was dictating the pace of the action on Nuke. Relics did land a couple of nice shots at the back of the B site on Nuke, but other than that was fairly quiet overall. Again, though, this is a map that you're expecting the AWPers to step up big. No kits, and only 2 smokes and a flash with this much time left. I mean, that's got to be a worry right now, Londis, for the CTs.
It definitely is. I mean, again, utility not quintessential to pulling together a round on CT side, but 5v5, it can be nice, especially versus something like this, a cat take. However, FNS has gotten himself into an advantageous position over at Goose, exactly where you want to be versus a 5-on cat take. And all the players flashed, but no one has actually spawn dropped quite yet. And will this mean he'll be able to get a free kill? It looks like after Goose isn't cleared, he's done basically 190 damage. Def, however, and Android joining in to find a couple of kills for himself to equalize. They're going to get a bomb plant now, and it's a 3v3 retake from pretty good spots, however. 2 at long. It might end up catching them off guard.
Android is low. Big kill by Uber. That funnels both the remaining CTs up long together. Doesn't give them too much room for error here. First kill does come down. It's pretty tasty. Oh, Six got a second as well. He's only on 14 health. He doesn't have a kit either, so he's going to have to tickle on that bomb and hope that Uber comes out. As soon as the bullets spray his way, Uber's just playing this time to perfection. And one stray bullet will end Six's life. He has to go back on the site. He doesn't have time anymore. And it is going to go the way of complexity.
Yeah, there's pretty much no reason to hang out unless he thought he was going to get re-peeked, in which case I guess might as well take that fight. But knowing that he can't defuse, probably want to hightail it with that AK, if possible. Either way, complexity off that 5 cat take and a couple of trades in the 3v3 after plant do well. They come with the round and put TSM on a save. That was a really defining moment in this half. Either team would have ended up with no money for this round. And so that's what we call it 2-for-1.
We sure do. P250s and 2 flashes. Maybe can spoil the party complexity. And it will be the 1 kill coming their way. Looking at like a second one is Twist alongside Sick did peek out of mid. Semphis now with a P250 around the backside is maybe a goner, but Surreal, I was about to say, with an open that kind of situation, if you miss the shot, you're pretty much a dead man. So it's important he landed that. Semphis will be put down. It's not going to be a fantastic bite, but a buy all the same for TSM.
Good recovery here from Android to get these 3 kills, actually, on the mid to B, all by himself. And now we have another full buy up. No head armor, won't matter, however. Just a bunch of guns that'll kill you in 1 bullet to the head. And, oh, Def actually pushing his way into B, but 2 players here to defend, and Sick and Relics combined in tandem, doing really well for each other. Both picking up a kill. Sick still alive, looking to do more damage, but Uber has made an impact here. Uber has made a giant impact. He has opened up the site. He has retained, well, not a man advantage, but kind of evened up. However, Semphis has something to say about that, gets a kill for himself, and now it's a 2v3. Surreal trying to push out the window, and that leaves both of them low. Yeah,
both incredibly low, 14 and 34 respectively with TSM. They don't have a nade or an incendiary to toss into the side, but they have the manpower. There's the first one by Uber, looking for a second one. Narrowly missing out on the no-scope, but instead it is going to be TSM taking the rounds. And they pick up an AWP, so that's not too shabby. They can chuck that across to Relics if they so choose.
Yeah, that's super nice. There's a lot you can do with an AWP on CT side. You can just have, if you think that it's going to be kind of lighter over towards B, that teams typically default towards B, or don't give it a lot of attention, you can just have 1 person there with an AWP, and that'll be more than enough. You can have 1 person boosted on double stack at mid, have the other AWP at A, or have your AWP at mid on a quick rotation if that if it is the case that they aren't smoking Xbox every time or giving up this lower pick every once in a while. Def flashes for himself, pushes down into the tunnels, and we've obviously got a default with heavy tunnel presence. This either indicates, actually doesn't indicate much. I mean, it could technically go anywhere for the rest of this round, whether they want to just go and clear out mid or take cat. And looks like someone was spotted. Oh, Def is going to take some damage.
Between two incendiaries for a few seconds there. Fortunately for him, one of them extinguished, so he only loses minimal damage.
New show with Zach Galifianakis.
Between two ferns, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that program so much. I wish there was more of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's like not enough. That being said, as awkward as that show, it's looking like Complexity's attack could very well fall into the same kind of level, considering how the TSM guys are stacked up. I actually say that, you know, and having a second glance, this is only Semphis who's actually on the boost spot. So no one's on the A site itself, no one's on the car either for the crossfire. This is where you're expecting to see like an AWPer maybe running on the car. So that this is going to give up A completely.
It's kind of a weird spot to be in as the only man here. I mean, you can be responsible for people jumping into CT, which would be nice. They've got to be wondering why they haven't seen anyone, and they're, I mean, yeah, now he's just proceeded. So at least they've got long control, and it was kind of an awkward, I mean, I don't know, it's not a very standard spot to be in, but they've still got long control. They've got 5v5. It's not exactly over quite yet. Cat control will be the first thing on the docket.
Oh, Uber's almost spoiled for choice, but still gets himself 2 kills alongside Ape. A decent trade-off, but now it's Semphis, who was one of the standout players for TSM on Nuke. But once again, there's no kit, there's no time, and just to make matters worse, an incendiary lands on the site, and that will secure Complexity their 4th. But again, it is back and forth. Nothing to distinguish between the TSM's economy's wrecked now.
Yeah, I actually like that round a lot from Complexity. Just like they realize it's 5v5, and to them it seems like TSM are simply trying to forfeit the site to retake. So what you do in response to that is you don't let them get in their comfort zone, set up for nades. Instead, they went and burst, exploded, and tried to put pressure on Cat, and they ended up trading out very favorably. And as they should have, because you wouldn't expect the team to do that. So a really good response to what seemed like a more careful setup from TSM. In reality, I don't think TSM really wanted to retake. I mean, I don't know. It just seemed like I didn't understand what Semphis's job was there without someone else on the site to take attention away from him.
2 MAC-10s are picked up into this round. Running one of them has picked up 2 kills, switches to the Glock and finishes off what he started onto Semphis. Meanwhile, Relics with his P250 does get picked up. So the MAC-10's actually picking up 4 of the 5 frags. A good read by Complexity. And with the spray down in effect, that's plenty of money in the bank. TSM will be onto another eco. So Complexity moving further and further ahead. Well, you assume so. I mean, Deagles and Dust 2 are still pretty potent weapons. But you're expecting the AKs and the AWP to reign supreme here.
Yeah, but already we're looking at teams that look much more collected, much more composed. And it was kind of rough to watch Nuke. But I mean, maybe sometimes Nuke is just simply as deep as saying Nuke, maybe as deep as the analysis needs to go. Yeah, I'm sure they seem like they're much more in their comfort zones. We've got teams they're just playing together at the moment. And here are a few players on the eco being spotted. Able on the cleanup crew, but off just a pixel peek. Sick finds a 1D, and actually another one just as I decided to highlight how much more composed and well they're playing. They are getting destroyed on the eco, but it is because of a couple of really what a really nice shot from Twist. Super good, man.
Super good, man. It's like something out of Wayne's World. You nearly slipped up, though. I heard it.
My keys.
It was a crazy P250 one-tap, though. In mid-air as well, so it's not as even as if his crosshair was at head height. He had to actually move his crosshair up to land the headshot.
Yeah.
Nutty.
That's the skeet shooting. Surreal is this is a tough spot, man. You got to come upper. You have to retake the bomb. There could be a man on either side. Someone late flanking you for no reason. Okay, or a kill just given up. And, he's got to expect there's got to be someone else here. Using this to just get away, and it also covers him. So this is perfect. I mean, he's also making an assumption here.
This could
awkward time to miss that jump, but it's okay. He's going to be able to get a plant, and probably should just straight up win.
Yeah, from here on out, it's hard to see FNS getting anything done. He's got enough time to get the bomb planted. It's going to be close, but still, he's got it done. FNS is going to have to come around the corner and pretty much just one-tap Surreal. That's the only way he wins this round for me.
Yeah, and then, honestly, Surreal should just not let that be a possibility. Just hide until you hear something. It's going to be FNS having to be a little bit more frantic. You've got to worry about the ramp walk up as well, and that's what he's kind of being aware of right now. And then from here, you can just kind of hope that it's going to be... He just takes that late peek. FNS has to be just wondering, just trying to calculate, fathom where he might be, and then in that moment, kill him. So now it's now 6-3 for Complexity. Good recovery, and boom, out the sky with your face.
Kind of unfortunate timing for TSM as well, throwing that Molotov in.
I guess, but did you have to throw it?
Wasn't necessary.
Did you have to throw it?
The thing. Oh, Rip Surreal, as we were saying, he was getting the upper hand in those trades on Nuke. He is going to be the first casualty in round 10. Double up setup as well for TSM. Semphis has the other one locked on to Catwalk, but Uber in the meanwhile puts down the primary AWPer. Relics dead and buried. So 4 playing 4. And that flashbang completely neutralizing FNS, who I think was about to peek through mid. So instead he's going to hop across to B.
A little bit of pressure put on Cat. Semphis is a little bit wide open for a flash, but no one's in position to do a set one, I don't think. Oh, there's the after image flash. A late peek might come out. Def is there to trade, and poor Uber is like, why me? It could have been anyone. But the instant trade comes out. Very critical. There is no molly in the world that can molly Goose. I'll tell you right now from Cat. I don't think that does go to the... Oh, does it go to the corner? No way. Oh my gosh.
Mind has been blown. Lorna's going to practice that one when he gets home, for sure.
I have to see. Did that really go to the corner? Because that is so... Ooh, nice.
In the meanwhile, though, on this bomb plant, it has gone down to a 2-on-2. With FNS getting the shot onto Ape as the smoke starts to subside. Android now in the thick of it. 2 CT is going to be charging his direction. He does hear the footsteps of FNS right next to him, but can't even get the spray onto him. So it is going to be a clutch TSM somehow take that. It looked like it was going to be a guaranteed Complexity round.
Yeah, it seems like you went a little bit wide. Went a little bit wide to envision of both people. There was no assist, but it seemed like both people contributed in damage. Made that a difficult trade to attain. But the 1v2 was no good. Complexity lose the round. But man, I wish I could have replay on that molly. Do that molly. If that really does molly Goose, that's a PogChamp. That's a PogChamp and a half. Here. Oh, 2 ops. Semphis is joining Relics in the op fun. Actually, actually Semphis had also had the op as the only man up on Cat.
They managed to save both the ops from the last round through into this one. And Sick with his A4 goes to work. It's going to be Relics that actually takes the kill from underneath his nose, and a second one as well, but that saves Sick for a little while longer. Relics now out into the open, and FNS is there with the M4. So this, you could be forgiven for mistaking that for an eco round, but Complexity had full AKs coming through into this, and they just got completely neutralized.
Yeah, you really don't want to do that unless you're just extremely confident, which, I mean, you cannot know that you're going to win a round, obviously, so... but just great cover. Great cover. I think the flash, like, Sick got a good spot to get that first kill, and then the flash supported perfectly. It might have flashed behind him, and so whoever came out next was completely blind, and then him getting a couple of kills. Great support from Relics, and nice hold from Sick. He's been extremely reliable on the B side.
TSM's chance now to battle back. The grenades doing so much damage to Def. I think it was a HE into a Molotov that ended his life. But I think he got a dink onto Semphis, and amongst all of that, he will go on to Uber. So both himself and Twists have got themselves kills. 8 is low. And Surreal's going to try and blunt force trauma his way out of mid. That's going to be into the embracing arms of Semphis, Relics, and FNS to finish things off. Nearly the team ace. I know you're going to be gutted about that. Sick didn't get one. But still 66. TSM refusing to allow Complexity to move too far ahead.
It's nice to see that they're back in this after having suffered a kind of a hard reset. They've started to find their footing here on CT side and have made this a truly competitive. Map's already 10 times better than what we've seen on Nuke in terms of just strategy. Everyone seems very much more comfortable. And now we're gonna have some late aggression into long. Are they gonna push through? Semphis actually finds that pick through the door on Surreal. I don't know if he had an op in his hands or not. Does he really want to throw the smoke? Oh, okay. He's throwing it shallow. Okay, so I thought he was gonna land on Twist. But this is really cool because if that smoke, if he stands in front of the smoke and someone comes through that door, Twist can get that kill and then just fall back through a smoke. That's why that's really nice.
Complexity slow on catwalk. Semphis, you can see, he's kind of caught in two minds whether he wants to throw that incendiary or not. But also, he's going to have the quick switch to the incendiary when the inevitable charge comes in, as we're about to see now. And instantly, as soon as he sees that first grenade coming over the horizon, throws in the incendiary, stops the push for a few more seconds, allows FNS to move into position through CT side. Also, alongside that, Twists on long can start to get himself closer. The flashes are looking good, and Semphis peeks back up for two quick fire frags, looking for a third one. FNS will take 8 from underneath him, but it may not end up mattering because Android is just down to a measly sub 10 health, but not for too much longer. Sick will put him out of his misery. TSM will take the lead.
That was wonderful. I mean, even from both sides, the execute was good. I mean, they came across Cat. No one spawn dropped. I think that would have been a little bit obvious and probably would have got them killed anyway, so I quite like that. And then just nicely played from Semphis to stay alive. He waited long enough until everybody was flashed and then found his kills nice and safely. And the Molotovs came out from Complexity. It seemed like everything from the execute went their way, but then the counter nades were timed perfectly to deal with it. So good stuff from both teams.
Speaking of nades, Def just had 2 HEs land right next to him. And it's somewhat of a bloodbath on long. It doesn't look like the T's going to get anything other than a frag onto FNS, which is no problems because the economy is starting to get into a pretty nice position for TSM. You can see a couple players on 10k. It's the last round of the half anyway, so they can easily replenish that. And Complexity will also be coming into this round with a solid buy. Again, it's without an AWP, so Surreal, I mean, he's 5 and 10. This is a map that we were thinking he could really take over on, but 5 and 10 has had little to no...
Oh my God.
Oh man, Semphis was close.
That was that was almost hilarious. A running back through spawn, that would almost never happen.
You'd be pretty triggered if that happens,
Yeah.
to be fair. Yeah, Surreal just hasn't had really any impact, which I'm very surprised by.
Oh, good flash. Wow, just drops a bomb. Easy pick. No damage done. And he disappears like a phantom. Actually, it comes back from one. Why not? Okay, Def finally trading it. Pretty good, but... Oh, and another good flash. Close opportunities there to try to trade back. But after the dust is settled, TSM have a one-man advantage, and Def is looking to nullify that if possible. Creeping back into the angle, spotting a foot. What is going to happen? Oh my gosh. I don't think he knew that he had an op.
No, not with that kind of a peek. It is unfortunate. Again, he switched to a smoke as he saw the shadow and the leg just coming around the corner initially. 45 seconds for Complexity to do something. Ape and Uber have the arduous task of doing just that. Ape is now all alone in this very harsh world of Dust 2. I'm pretty sure that was a complete panic fire moment. Must have jumped out of his chair.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a really good time peak. And that's just perfect, right? The flash goes off as soon as you peak. That's ideal. And then the second kill is good. Maybe a little bit too hungry there. Underestimating Def. But ultimately, everybody just pitching in. TSM having a solid half overall. I mean, Complexity actually had won 3 rounds following the pistol, 3 rounds after a reset. And apart from that, TSM won every other round. So I feel like both teams actually did a lot of good stuff. And basically, the only difference is the pistol. The pistol and the 2 anti-ecos would have made this basically even for both teams in terms of rifle rounds that they won.
Well, the good news for TSM is they've actually got 3 players over 15 kills, which is
Wow.
pretty
Yeah, that is
sick
huge.
statistic. You can see there, Sick, Semphis, and FNS are really sharing the burden here. So it's not the case if one player goes absent that they're going to be screwed. You expect one of the other 2 to really step up, but that being said, TSM looking to take a lot of aggression over onto the A side. The bomb's actually on B though, so this is a fake that's been bought perfectly by Complexity. They have brought back 2 kills for themselves, but at this point they're going to be like, oh, hold on a second, we've got to make the trek now. And Six managed to get himself into a pretty tasty position. Surreal should be a dead man. All right, so could Depth. Does come back with a kill of his own. 2-on-2. They don't have a kit. They've just got to flash the smoke. They have just picked up a kit now in the hands of Depth, but he is the last man left, and FNS from point-blank range puts him down. TSM in a commanding position now.
Yeah, solid. I mean, I even got a little bit faked there, I have to admit. Then my attention was taken away, and they ended up all over B. Ended up working out really, really well. So credit to them. It's kind of difficult to try to cause rotations on the pistol round, I should say, because there aren't that many options for resources in a couple of crazy trades in mid. Scout kills, one headshot wall bang from Relics, who loves to buy this in the second round. Android all alone by himself in the B site. Now 3 people on the retake. And Sick already. Let's get in the face of Ape. He goes down. 2 people out here. Wow, another nice scout kill.
It's a nice kill, but it's not going to bring this round back for Complexity. So TSM will be taking a 5-round lead, picking up the AK from the corpse of Sick. Just as CZ and Scout will make it through into the next round for Complexity. I mean, Scout on Dust 2, though, is very capable of making big things happen. Players like Chris J are renowned for his potency with that weapon, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's a completely lost round in that sense for Complexity, but it's asking a lot for Surreal to get some frags on the board.
Yes, it certainly is. TSM come away with another plant, so that's a plant on the pistol, and they're winning rounds, but these plants are also just supplementing their income and making this lead even harder to come back from. The rebuys, however, have been, the forced rebuys have been good for Complexity, doing quite a bit of damage. That's definitely notable. It won't matter, however, if they move into the rifle round and don't win it, but here, oh. Wow. I mean, it's just insane scout kills happening across the board. Another fight is about to take place. And we are in the ring. We get to see this.
FNS, meanwhile, is like, screw that scout business. I've got the Mac 10. Double spray down for him on the B side. Uber keeping his Mac 10 alive in the last round. Is going to be continuing it here in this one. He's got $3,000 equipment value, plusing, if you take into account those grenades, I should say, and the Kevlar. But TSM now at 12-6, and as you say, there's so much pressure for Complexity to win this next round. If they lose it, honestly, they're already sort of half a foot out of this map. Yeah,
not a good time to go by loss, that's for sure. And just after talking about how after a 9-6 half where they did pretty well, earning their CT or earning their T rounds. What are we wishing it? Oh, is that a thing? Do you have to do the spin first? That'd be funny. That'd be cool if you could, like, throw smokes. No, that wouldn't be cool. That'd be stupid. I just thought about that out loud.
Instantly regretted his decision. So how's his buy looking? Surreal does have an AWP. We can afford 2 flashes behind it as well. But again, he's 6 and 13. He really needs to step things up on the CT side. They need an AWP to rest off. And it's been pretty much all Relic so far. No one's even going to attempt to battle against him in mid right now.
Yeah, Surreal definitely has to put his team on his back right now. They're out there asking a lot from him, but oh, Sick with the maybe premature jump into spawn, and because it isn't smoked off, Twist is going to have to just take everybody in a 1v1, and we'll come out ahead versus 2 of them. One more player dead in the B site. 8 all alone in here versus a P250, but Relics manages to surmise the entry anyways. How can this be? Oh my gosh. I was quite surprised. It seemed a dry mid B, no smoke. Sick dies first, jumping into spawn, and then Twist just, living up to his name, 180ing from A site to B site and getting both kills, and then staying alive. And then Relics with an AWP, but not getting an AWP kill, getting a P250 kill and a nade kill.
Yeah, but that was onto Ape, who had the positional advantage, had the weapon advantage, and still died to the P250.
Yeah, that's true. Right through the window.
It's pretty nuts. Like, he should not be conceding that kill from that point. Another 1-for-1 trade, but TSM, of course, having the overwhelming, overarching weapon advantage. Oh, hold on a second, because the CZ and the Deagle's going in again. FNS is going to take down Ubu, who's caught with his pants down on the side of the wall, but 2 AKs have now traded hands. No Kevlar behind them. So TSM still will be fancying their chances, but Complexity now have something to work with.
Let's see if they fall right into the trap of Complexity. It is Complexity to not move, playing 2 over towards B, and everyone knows this is a site you can play by yourself, so they are definitely stacking it, putting a lot of talent here. So moving in now, they're expected to maybe have 1 person to entry. If they really knew what was going on, they would have definitely go A. So looking for that person. Scope is being heard. And angles are being cleared more aggressively. Now he's moving in. FNS finds the first kill. Android, however, trades with just the Deagle. And now it's a 1v2 Relic. Spots one man on the cross and one more in the door. That's surreal to come in for the quick trade. And the call was made. Come to be. No, come to be. And because he was there so quickly, he made that round a lot more simple. Imagine if Relics had hit that shot on the player crossing he was ready for. It would be an entirely different round.
Very true. I still feel TSM have such a stranglehold over this map, though, because Complexity, I don't want to say they got lucky in that round, but it did come off the back of 1Ds, which is always, you know, kind of a roll of the dice.
I think it's fair to say when they haven't shown they can win the round any other way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is fair to say for sure.
Their rifle rounds have been pretty poor, honestly, so I don't see Complexity bringing this deficit back, but I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see Surreal start to tee off onto TSM. But there is definitely a threat and a very real possibility that TSM from this point just go on a tear. Surreal could be seeing action shortly as Catwalk seems to be the position of choice for TSM for the time being.
Relics in hyper-aware mode is maybe smelling the fact that Uber might find an opportunity to try to push here. And we'll just be hanging back, and he's in a good spot to just kind of watch for a mid-rotate as well, and it seems like they're pressuring for a cat plant. Surreal going to have some pressure put on him as the opper. Just taking a spot at elbow here. And, oh, Sick has made it. I don't know if you're going to see the smoke come out. This is quite curious. Who is going to give the first tell? And, oh, Surreal backs off the angle.
Oh, no. I mean, it's perfectly timed with 6 push with flashbang. He just saw his head.
Wow.
He saw the opper's head and did nothing. He had the free headshot. It was open all day long. Relics has answered back with a kill of his own, but Surreal's already picked up a kill. There's only 20 seconds left. The bomb, is the bomb dropped towards CT Sport?
Yeah, FNS just jumped up on the plat and then died.
Get absolutely
10 seconds left. They just, oh my gosh, they could jump down. Oh my gosh, they have to do this. Oh my god, one left. Oh, Andrew's peeking, one left. Oh no.
There's a second left. Sweet Jesus, he just had a heart attack.
I could hear the pain. Oh,
why are you peeking with a second left?
When the clock is red, all your strategies have to change to like this is now us mode. This is now we're not playing to get kills. Now we're playing to buy time, and that was almost really bad. Almost really bad.
All off that bomb getting dropped. It's rough. But Complexity just about hold on. That grenade is to do significant damage. FNS is down to, well, I was going to say 20. Now he's down to 0. But 6 for under courtesy of Uber. Surreal is going to come in with the M4A4 as well. He's not able to afford another rope. Wasn't picked up in that previous round either. So Complexity holding on. Not going to go down just yet.
Nope, solid long hold to decide. I mean, typically the classic default on CT side is send 3 long at the beginning of the round, but people stopped doing that because the counter is just a run out mid, and when that started working well, you can't really just do 3 long every single round. Running out dry mid ended up being very powerful, and so now you only pepper those in. And if a team does that and you're really anticipating long control, it can be considered a huge read and really can really like get in the heads of your opponents, seeing that they've committed so many people to that in their default. Oh, good molly. He actually backs off even though the molly might have not been perfect. So either way it works. Effect is there, and it probably should have mollied him out in the first place. And he's got an opponent right now. He still has a little bit of health left over. Oh, and the splash through the door. Ape manages to stay alive off of it.
Yeah, that's just straight up solid teamwork by Complexity on the B side, I should say. Really nice crossfire down. Ape had his teammates back there. I'm going to pick up an AWP, drop it to Surreal. He still hasn't really set the world on fire, but he's getting some pretty important kills. TSM down to an eco. A couple more chapters to be written maybe in this story.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how it all started. It's just all about what the score is at the end of the day. So 4 to come back from, and it looks like it might be a quick spawn drop. Damage done to Surreal. He's tagged up right now. Not in the best spot possible, and his attention has been taken away a little bit. Actually, B has been completely forfeited. I mean, you can never... This is really rough. The bomb might not be able to cross, and it looks like it will. And will it get planted? Oh, Android still flashed. Are they going to try to stop this, though? It might be in their best interest, and they do it.
Oh, look where the bomb dropped as well. Up on the box next to the window.
Oh, wow.
It's like with a terrorist's dying wish, he's like, have the bomb. That's nuts. It probably didn't end up mattering a great deal at the end of the day because Sick is not really in close enough proximity through mid.
That was some good damage control after, you know, leaving the B site. Something you really don't want to do unless you spot the bomb, especially not 5v5. And then, yeah, Ape getting those kills and just stopping the plant is really important. Like, that just supplements this buy directly. Even though everyone seems to have gotten pretty much what they wanted to. They've gotten all their, maybe just a couple Molotovs short. I guess the counter argument to that is that, you know, they could have used that money in future rounds, if anything. But so far right here, not so bad. Not so bad. And now this is a critical moment for me. Watching this game, Uber has gotten frisky out at long more than a couple of times, but he hasn't actually pushed through. It's good discipline on that. But when will be the round to push through, and when will be the round that that Relics anticipates him to push through? Will he scope? That'll be a tell. Oh, looks like he's got some opposition gearing up to go a more heavy long take. Something they haven't done quite that often.
Oh, the Shadow betraying the terrorists. Oh, you could see the Shadow before they even peaked. I mean, Uber with those two colossal kills.
Beast.
It's so important. And he also keeps himself relatively healthy on 46 health. He doesn't have to worry too much about a stray grenade. And it's going to be Relics next, maybe, to fall down to 19. TSM seemingly just can't close out Dust 2. Completely holding on for everything they're worth. Uber comes through with a third kill. Not expecting that peak. Yeah,
and I guess absolutely not expecting a fourth here. Will Memphis make presence, however? They haven't heard it's real. I don't think they might anticipate there's just going to be an op here. Finesse, however, along, and then Uber. Oh my gosh, I thought he was basically on for the ace, and knowing that he was going to be there, but what is happening? The 2v5 situation turning into a 2-on-2 as Memphis wise enough to check elevator and get that kill, and now with so much HP remaining in op and a proper long plant, we have a really winnable situation. Oh, it's actually FNS to only go to car. Might actually work out in his favor, however.
Yeah, he has been picked up now.
What?
That looked dead on his shoulders.
Yeah,
or his head. Or what
it must have been jumping inaccuracy. Maybe fortunate enough to, or landing inaccuracy, sorry. Which you do have a small window for that. Really weird, though. It's getting legged instead. Of all things.
It's got a smart.
That has got to smart. Yeah, I mean, the fact that, you know, Uber gets 3 kills and he comes back from a 2v5, I guarantee you Uber's hands were in his hair. Just like, this is not happening, not like this.
not after I get, you know, pretty sick 3-man.
Yeah.
In the same position.
Not after I kill literally most of the team.
Yeah. TSM back into an AK buy. Interestingly enough, they haven't really mixed it up over these last few rounds. It's been by and large the same stuff. They haven't called a pause. I mean, at what point do they think about calling a pause? Try and get the momentum away from Complexity, who are on the comeback trail.
I'm not sure if they're in that headspace. This is, you know, a team that it's kind of like an iceberg for us, where we see them play matches, but they practice against each other quite often. So maybe this is just isn't something that they're surprised about. They feel like that. I'm sure both teams feel like this game can go either way. They've probably been in situations where they've won and lost from situations like this versus each other on this map more than a couple of times. So maybe that's it. Uber, who's so solid at long, gets his first kill. It's not quite that much, though. Surreal is going to have a bit of opposition. Relics, however, getting that second kill might do a world of good for them. A long plan of security. He doesn't need to cross. I mean, he could just go back. Yeah, he's actually just picking up this op and hanging out for a little bit. That's it. Ideal after plan spots. This is perfect.
It's hard to see how Complexity can retake from this point. They do have an incendiary that's going to be landing on the site. That forces Memphis out into the open. He's actually going to be joining Goose. I'm not sure if the CT saw that, because that could end up baiting out FNS on top of it. They're both looking to relocate. Here comes the boost. It's going to claim the frag onto FNS. I think Def may have just seen the head of Memphis, and Ape will put it down. It's all on Relics.
Oh.
And he's missed his first opportunity. He lets the second player go by, lands that shot, and that probably will be the round going his way. And as long as he doesn't give his life away soon. Oh, he's actually missing out so many opportunities, but the bomb's going to explode anyway.
Oh, no.
And Ape goes down just to rub salt in the wounds. Complexity losing out in round 25.
Oh, man. That was quite a crazy retake. I mean, the attempt was solid. Both players at Goose were completely blind. They decided to have 2 jump off. The boost ends up working out, getting a kill for it. Late player crossing dies. But then after that, it comes down to the 1v1, and Relics misses the first shot, and then you're like, oh, it might get tricky now. But manages to kill the guy who should die last first. And I don't know if that's because Ape wasn't able to get up there fast enough, or he was just playing too carefully, kind of walking forward, but also sidestepping, which is not necessarily selfish, because if he dies too quickly, then they lose anyway. But yeah, I guess well played by Relics to just make sure he was at the perfect angle to not be able to get hit by Ape.
More of a B-centric push. Will Complexity go out looking? You see a lot of teams on the CT side will actually go aggressive out of tunnels together, almost like a 2-man death squad. But that could be into the arms of 3 TSM players. Make it out 4 now as Relics is starting to make a move up. Ape goes to the preemptive spray through the smoke. No one's home just yet. And Def, in the meanwhile, could come head-to-head with FNS, who's on the other side of those doors, albeit moving on catwalk. So is he going to try and sell the fake with the rest of TSM going for a B hit? They will be up against Android, and only Android for now. Moving up on that right-hand side.
That might be an unfortunate time to throw a flash. Is it good? Oh, it is really nice. Wow.
Spots a lot of players as well. That flash allows him the frag, and here comes the backup. Ape is there with a FAMAS. 3 kills for Ape. Very well played by Android. That flash destroyed them. Even though he didn't get more than 1 kill, it stopped the push. It allowed him to call that there was a bunch of Ts coming his way. And Complexity, you're going to pick up the round without losing a single player.
Yeah, that was sick. I mean, that was really, really nice from Complexity to play the B-side like that. Android's movement around that box was beautiful. Getting that first kill, not getting greedy, and then also managing to just, I mean, not even take any damage. He really picked the perfect spot to stand, knowing exactly how TSM were going to want to trade it. And credit to him and Ape for being a good tag team. It seems like both these teams have a good, solid B hold. Oh, and this is like an ace waiting to happen. Is it going to happen? Uber getting 3. That's good enough. 3 headshots, and all the momentum stopped. No cat take for UTSM.
Putting 2 players in mid as well so they can get this this crossfire down. Leaving Relics. He does have the UMP from the corpse of Uber. But I mean, his days are numbered. Surely there's no chance he gets anything out of this round. He's trying to double tap his way to victory. Ape round the back. Did actually land a headshot onto Ape there, actually, onto Xbox.
This is just a blessed UMP, just doing tons of damage in general. Whoever picks it up is handed damage. No, oh, wow, so it's a very close game. We've got one round differential. TSM on the back foot at this point, I want to say, because yeah, they do have 14, but they've also won far less rounds in this half. Complexity have come back from 6, brought themselves to 13. TSM have only gone from 9 to 14, so. And oh, I actually decided to buy. What?
Yeah, they went for a 4.
Why? Why?
Mid to high 3000s. But Ape missing out on that opportunity. Oh my goodness!
Again,
and now
with the no smoke mid B, and then oh my gosh!
Android with the headshot. It's not looking good, is it? TSM on the force buy. If they lose this, as it's looking likely, I mean they're going to be into a rough economy for the rest of this half. You've got to think.
What's the benefit? Are they going to be able to buy next round? Well, it's not over yet. Android has 2 players coming at him in the B side. He was so good last time, but this time it was too good of a take. He goes down for free. Def off of a good flash and still careful about it. Managed to get 1 kill. Great option. Moves into the site and takes down Sick, and that's it. 14-14, and now we're back to like, why? Because if TSM just saved until this round, they don't have money for this. Why pull the trigger so early? They would have just been able to go to 14-14 and then had a buy with more than enough. And on top of that, they get the opening kill and then alert everybody, but don't smoke the mid B. That has literally never caught anyone off guard in the games that we've seen. This is not the first time we've seen this. Just no smoke mid B, even late, like nothing. You know, there's past the point that it's a tell and that you get a kill mid B. So then you've got to rewrite it. If you get all the way out mid, and you know no one's spamming you through the smoke, that's fine. But then if you get a kill, it's clear that you're going mid B, and then some players are coming out behind you. They're just going to get killed from A. It was just a shooting gallery. Why not right-click a smoke down? Something. I don't know. and they're buying again instead of going for OT. Another really what seems like careless decision.
It really could just come down to these last two buys that cost them the map if it goes that way. Because if they don't buy in that previous round, they'd have been able to afford an AWP here.
They would have been fine, and it's only 14-14.
Yeah, they'd have been absolutely fine. Sick is going to fall to his death, I assume that was, with Ape chiming in for the kill, so owned by Gravity itself. And now Ape is still up on the site. I don't know what to make of this game anymore. Semphis comes through with 2, tries a hero play, but now Complexity will be up against the TSM, who have not a pot to piss in. Although they've actually got a slightly better buy than expected. They're going to have a few assault rifles, but still, it's not going to be great.
Yeah, 3-round loss, or maybe 4? Yeah. Either way, we're putting something together. I just don't... Wow. To me, that's like, it seems like simple math. Just, you know, let it go 14-14. That's not even in danger of anything. That's just win 2 rounds in a row. But, all right. Now Uber in front of the smoke. Semphis might have heard that blue bin. He might just hard clear this out of curiosity. Oh no, did he see that? What is gonna happen right now? Good flash, and it looks like they want to try to boost, but he's in an awkward spot. Surreal helping out, and Twist trading back. Surreal getting another kill, and will he go for the repick? No, he's gonna fall back 3v2.
Smart play. I think if he had more confidence, if he was landing more shots, he probably would have went for that repick again. But instead going into the CT spawn, where Ape will spray down Relics, and now it's not looking good for Sick to take us into yet another overtime between these two teams. He does have an M4 in the bomb. Gonna go for the spray. He has landed quite a bit of damage onto both those players, but he himself is far from healthy. Just 14 left.
Oh my God.
Not like this. Complexity. This was your round to win.
Oh my God.
And now Sick can play the mind games and go over to B, and Launders is done.
He's going out mid. Oh my God, what's going to happen? Is Abe going to be waiting for... He might have seen him. He might have seen him cross that corner. He didn't. He has no idea what's going on. He dropped his gun as well. He's made noise. He's really close. Is he going to push? Jesus.
I wish you could see Launders right now. He is so done. He's so triggered.
It's fucking 14 HP. How on earth is this an option? Why is that possible?
Take nothing away from Sick. That's a seriously good clutch, but Complexity gave him so many opportunities to get that. You
just had to like whisper in his ear. He would have died. Just handed the molly.
And then Stick, he just gets absolutely mullered by the Molotov. Why not? 64 health gone. Evaporates.
Oh.
I can still feel the trigger. Like, I can feel it full force from
Oh my
me.
gosh. Okay. Moving forward. Trekking on. We've got another OT here. And overall, it's been pretty good. I mean, apart from like just those last couple of rounds with the buying decision from TSM, there's been some cool rounds to think about or talk about. And this upper B push might actually be good because TSM don't often run right up cat after taking control. They just settle in and then throw smokes. So with this upper B push, we might have a checkmate. Molly to push them back, and yeah, probably want a lower player cam here. Are they going to get killed? Oh, it might actually be a harder fight than they expect, and because they just killed 2 players at B, what are they going to do? It definitely, I mean, please, just, you could smoke mid B, you know that 2 players are dead here. The only player could be on the left, yes, and then, perfect. I mean, oh, is Def going to make a YOLO play here to try to even up? It looks like he's going to push through the smoke. It's not going to be good, though, and that's it. Control of the site has been taken.
Yeah, Surreal and Uber, I think, have succumbed to their fate. They realize pretty much this is a no-go zone. Able to dart across to long, but they are going to be met by Relics and his AK. Going up for that blue boost. And now Relics knows the last player is here. Surreal is living on borrowed time. It's either going to be at the hands of Relics or Semphis. Ends up being Semphis, and first blood in the overtime goes to TSM.
Yeah, wonderful. They did do... that is really difficult. Like, the lower push, you're going to alert everybody, and then you don't have guns that can just... Like, you have M4s, so they're not going to kill you in one hit, which means it's actually kind of an advantage once you get spotted off cat for the cat players. But you can't say it's like a bad push. It's like a good push, for sure. You should be able to get the first couple of bullets off and be able to get fights that you want. I think ideally maybe they were able to creep up like farther and just completely flank cat. But now they're going to push the B. A kill has been made. Sick and Twist are finding frags themselves. Ape, though, off of a really great flash. I think it gets a little bit greedy there. And goes for another kill. 2v1.
Man, it all comes down to Relics. He has been the better of the AWPers, it has to be said, on Dust 2. But there is an AK-47 just behind him if he so chooses for the up-close and personal confrontation. He's still got time to play with, so I'm actually liking this. He has expended a lot of his utility, but this now puts Complexity into a position where they have to start to engage upon Relics. Oh, this is some next level stuff.
Yeah, and okay, so in the fundamentals of Counter-Strike, I mean, one of the fundamentals is typically like you don't leave a free site, but at the same time, this is a situation where it's a 1v2, so this one things change. Oh, he's spotted. Either way, okay, so he's trying to figure out which player is that. Is that the player who is the B player, or oh my gosh, nice B hops.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
You know how to, yes, make me a fan. And he is trying to figure out, was that lower player the guy who was kind of watching B, or are they both watching B? And that's the other thing, is that typically you do want to play sites together in a 2v1. That's just fundamentals, right? That, or, I mean, find like a 1-kill spot and make it so there's not enough time that they can clear every angle. But in this situation, 10 seconds left. Hasn't baited anyone out. That would have been nice. Ideally, he tries to make it a 1v1, and on his way back, that was kind of his goal. Oh, will he be able to? Oh wow, gets 1 kill, but yeah, they come out and trade. That's it. That's why you play sites together in a 2v1, and kind of why I think Relics was out to try to make it a 1v1 before he planted. Ideally.
So Complexity down but not out. Again, that was one of those kind of rounds. If TSM win that, then Complexity have such little funds to go through in their last overtime round. With TSM in a huge advantage. And of course, they've been here before on Nuke when double overtime. TSM ended up picking that one up, which seems like forever ago now. But it's a very heavy investment on long by the CT, sending 3 players out there. They get a 1-for-1 trade, but Twist comes through with 2 kills of his own, and TSM now have knocked down the door, and they are headed straight for A. That smoke is slightly off, though, so Twist is going to eat quite a lot of damage as a result, and may get engaged on from Ape, and indeed he will, and they didn't have his back there. Ape is somehow still alive and kicking on this site, and proving to be a real nuisance. They can go for the elevator boost as well.
Oh, yes. This boost could be very fruitful, and this bomb going down, I mean, he wouldn't have expected it, but it has happened. However, oh, the defuse coming out 10 seconds, and FNS is coming up cat. He's not going to be able to get away with this. Oh my gosh. He is going to be able to get away with it because FNS doesn't assume that he's on the bomb still. And that's it, a 10-second defuse. Complexity. Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm not even sure what to say because it is kind of ridiculous to assume that he's on sticking it for 10 seconds, but what?
Apparently there's a tactical pause, so one of the players can go to the bathroom.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
I wonder if they had to note that. Okay, here's a 10 seconds, and then someone comes. Oh, FNS was not on cat. That's why.
He's, I think, mid.
He was out CT. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So he was walking up cat, but then he went CT. Which is kind of an interesting decision itself because the bomb is planted safe. The bomb is planted safe. We have 1 player at long, and our flanker is not even coming up cat.
Yeah, I feel like the determining factor there, honestly, I think it was, who was it, Sick?
Yeah,
was
so
planting?
He definitely, the reason he planted safe, to give him some credit, is that Ape was jumping up. So even if you plan it for like long plat, he's in danger of just getting cheesed. But the awkward thing is that if you are going to plant safe, you got to have somebody there to be able to like stop a ninja. I mean, the guy in pit is completely useless. Because
then you're effectively nullifying the long position, the pit position, which is where I think the AWPer was.
Yeah.
And also FNS's position. So I don't think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, because my memory is honestly shocking, but I'm pretty sure they weren't rushed for time. I think they had like 45 seconds left. Right?
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, did they just lose by planning there? Like, could they have waited for a better opportunity? But also, maybe that long guy could have been more useful. And then also, FNS, considering what happened, like, okay, it's planted safe. That is what happened. So therefore, there's no room to change it. That means FNS like has to come up cat, you know. And also, they won't expect someone to come up late cat. That would be kind of one of the last places for them to check. You would think. So why not?
So a lot of different aspects of that potential clutch. But what we know is that that's in the past, and now in the present, it's 17-16 in Complexity's favor going through into the second half of the first overtime. 3 ops in play, 2 of which are on the CTs. So TSM going to be a high investment into this round. And they don't really have rounds to play with. If they lose this, they'll be having to save 2 in a row to take us to a second overtime. So they're just going to go all in on this round. And so far, so good. I mean, I like Twist's position at the moment. He's probably going to have to back away, though, as that smoke starts to vanish.
Yeah. Trading some spam in these 15 seconds of smoke strike. And that molly, wow, actually put him in kind of a vulnerable position for just a moment. And Def, oh, is going to spot the head of Twist and also takes it off. The Complexity are rolling here. Oh my gosh, Semphis also missing a shot.
Yeah, he definitely got spotted as well. Def saw him clearly.
Absolutely. What's going to happen here? The flashes are no good. Sick has found a really good spot, and with his teammate Relics are able to clean up right now. Wow, look at this positioning, working through the smoke and making it a 2v2.
40 seconds left. The bomb, once again, we've seen this a few times before by both teams. Going to decide to piece on out of there as there is time. But a lot of this comes down to Def, because if he dies now on A, not only is it going to potentially bait his teammate into keeping one of the CTs interested on the side, but then this gets really, really rough. But he has spotted FNS. He's going to convert that into the kill. And everything I said can be pretty much scrapped, because this was pretty much cutting it as thin as you like. It's going to be close to not having enough time as soon as he gets over to A.
Yeah, Semphis might just take a wide peek at long. Oh, the bomb's getting thrown. Oh my gosh, he could actually stop the plant here. Wow, that was quite close. That was quite close. If he had not shot and maybe waited, he could have potentially had a better chance to do that. Now Def is just going to sit pretty, knows that with the op. He's going to take his time. The flash was good. Semphis has to figure out what he wants. Oh, there we go. Picks up a rifle. Always better to do this. But 14 bullets to pull this round together, and he's walking up cat. A player will peek long, and it's perfect. That's all you need to do. Double peek. That's all you need to do.
With 2 ops in the last round, you can see that both Relics and Semphis down to about 4.3k. So that's going to be M4s and not too many grenades. Actual fact, Relics goes for the 1 defuse kit on the team. That's going to put him down to 1 flashbang. But apart from that, they're actually okay. They can still pull this back to a second overtime. They have to make sure they get these opening picks, though. And Depth again proving to be one of the star players on Complexity. Sick very nearly gets caught out in the open. Well, he did get caught out, but nearly loses his life as a result. He's down to just 19. Ape, in the meanwhile, has also died. And Depth is looking for that opening pick for the terrorists. Now, Smoke will keep the left-hand side at bay, but he's still very worried about window. As you can see, he's peering up there. And Uber has got himself the frag onto Twist, so Complexity still keeping TSM on the tiptoes. Oh dear, Semphis.
Oh, another? Well, oh man, if he got another one. Well, Semphis going to have a couple of enemies as well, or FNS that is. But now they're receding into CT. This is going to be looking like an after plant situation. Bomb is planted for cats. You have a player at long. You have an op. Why?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense, does it?
What's the point? You're not planning for yourself.
Maybe just got carried away in the moment. I'm not entirely sure. It may not end up mattering, though, because Android, with that flash, is on point. Relics did get hit by it, leaving Sick in a 1-3. The thing is, though, the bomb is planted for his side, so he can maybe try and work with that a little bit. Only 19 health. Surreal has made his position known. Goes for the pop flash. And
Good
yeah,
game.
There's not enough time left now anyway. It is going to be all over. Sick with a nice shot there onto Surreal, but that's going to be all she wrote. Complexity will pick up the second map, and TSM and Complexity go even for the night. And 3 overtimes in total between these two as well, by the way.
I know, yeah, it's been a lot of CS for sure between the 2 maps that we've seen played. And in this last one, it was just like Complexity having their way with TSM. No problem. Every frag was no problem. Uber getting 2 kills for himself, Android getting 2 kills for himself, and wow, tumultuous.